Good afternoon friends, I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me in studio today. Lovely to see you all. Did you have a nice weekend everybody? I managed to catch up on my forever descending house, my cleaning. I feel great Monday morning. The house is now clear, we have a bit of normality in life, which is great. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Tony Darroch and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft, and I love anything to do with stamping, die cutting, colouring, playing, learning, all of the good stuff. And if you are watching YouTube for the first time and you're not a subscriber to our channel, we do encourage you to subscribe to our channel. This lets you know when we're live, when we're doing our launches and things like that. And if you click the little HD button, that gives you a better viewing experience also. And we do ask that after the live show, if you are able, pop a comment under the live video when we've gone off air, and this gives us a wider reach to other crafters who may be wanting a little bit of inspiration or have maybe never heard of Stamps by Me before. Joy Craft Academy, it took me ages today to box up all of the lovely cards that were all packed away with great care, with a nice lid on to keep them safe. And it was really difficult to put them away because there was some I had not actually properly had a look at. Even though I'd read them all, it felt like I'd not seen them all again, if that made any sense at all. And I saw further things as I was looking at them. So, you know, I had to pop them in that box, and maybe next year we'll get them back out and revisit some of the lovely designs. But it was a fabulous show. And don't forget, if you did get involved in the Craft Academy stamps, and you did buy a Craft Academy stamp, then you will be sent a gift from us in the first week of August. So let's have a look. Hi Shirley, Rita, Pat Pepper, Joe, Janice, Michaela, Shirley. Hi lovely people. And it was lovely to see some of you on Saturday too. Came to see me as well. Social distancing, hugs and all that stuff. But it was still nice to see some smiley faces, and thank you for all your gifts. If they weren't for me, for Tom, for Tim, thank you so much. We've had a lovely weekend. So in today's studio, we're going to revisit some of our earlier products. So hopefully you may have them. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. You may have some alternatives in your stash. But if you do like the products, they are available over on FBL on our website. So if you pop FBL into the search engine, you'll be able to find everything that we've been using here at Stamps by Me. Also in there too, FBL is our new products that I'm on TV with tomorrow, and it's a 4-day deal. So if you haven't seen those products, you need to go and have a nosy. Unfortunately, I jumped straight into studio and prepared my demo and didn't leave, so I didn't bring in the new dies to show you. But I am on tomorrow at 3:45, I think it's 3:45, with the launch of the 4-day deal. So you'll be able to see what's going on there. And it's some good stuff again. Well, it's always good because I wouldn't create anything that wasn't good, but it's down to preference. Will you use them? Don't buy them if you're not going to use them. I know what you guys are like at home. Yes, Karen, thank you. 3:45, Karen's confirmed. So what we're going to do in studio today, I have popped some soulful samples behind me, some of the ones that maybe I haven't had a chance to showcase. So I do like to showcase the design team's work because they are fabulous. So in today's studio, we're going to be creative. We're going to play with a little bit of colour, but in a completely different way. Now, this wasn't my idea. What happened was I was just on social media, and what I saw was somebody had used you know when you go to your local decorating centres and you get the swatch and it's got the gradation of colour on there, somebody had actually used the swatch in a card. So what I'm going to do is we're going to create a card very similar, but we haven't got the swatches because I still haven't been out. So we're going to create our own swatch and make it into a card. Really different today. So that's where my inspirations come from. So what are we going to need? Have I got anything else to tell you about? Is everybody okay? Everybody okay? I hope so. So I hope today's, have you got your cup of tea or your cup of coffee? So we'll get inspired today. So first of all, what we're going to need is we're going to do 2 cards for the price of 1. So instead of just making the 1 card, we're going to do 2 because I'm going to do the technique twice. So we're going to I've decided we're going to do a green card and we're going to do a pink card. So I have these 2 panels here. I'll just set this aside. You see that there? And I have a whole bunch of greens from my dish. Don't matter if they've got aqua undertones. So you can see here which colours I'm using. It feels great to just get straight into a demo and not have to talk about anything, doesn't it? I feel like all I do is talk. I think, oh, they're going to be bored again at home, me talking. So let's just put one of the panels on this white piece of cardstock here. And again, we're going for a modern kind of feel, maybe. We'll see how it goes. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of water and I'm just going to use a flat-headed brush. So just one with a flat head like so. Can we see that there? Just so we can pop some coloured lines in here. And we're going to make it like the swatches that you get from your decorating places. So let's just grab my palette here. I don't want to mucky my mat. Just move that over. So let's do the green one first. So if you don't have the Distress, you can use your pens, your pencils, any other ink pad you may have in your stash. So let's just go this green first. So let's pick this one up. And we're just going to do a lovely line of colour. And this time I am going to try and be as straight as possible. This is normal white cardstock. I haven't got watercolour one today, just normal white cardstock. I'm just going to create a line of that lovely colour. Like so. And then another shade of green, so we'll go down the next one. Oh, we've been told you have to go in the shed. What's all that about? So I'm just picking up that colour there. So I'm trying to be as straight as possible. Now if you have OCD craft and like things symmetrical, draw it out, draw the lines out and paint within the lines. But I'm not a fan of things being absolutely symmetrical. And then next colour. Now you can make these really dark by letting it dry and then going back over. Okay, so personal preference really. So then the next colour. So 4 shades of green I've got here. So what I'm going to do is I've run out of colours. So I'm going to go back to the first colour. Or shall we mix? Shall we be brave and mix? Let's mix so we get a different shade. So let's mix this one with this one. And let's mix these two. Just pop a bit more on there. So there's our lovely green panel. It does look like out of the decorator centre, doesn't it? So let's just set that one aside. Let's bring in our next one. Just turn this over. So this time we're going to go shades of pink. So as I tell you all the time, try and if you are making one card, do two. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So let's go a bright colour first. Let's go Festive Berries. This is like more like a red, which is fine. So strip down here. Yep, Lillian, I did sort out your problem, sweetheart. So, oh, I've done that one. You should have it, unless I've missed the comment and you're telling me you've already got it. Next colour. Patricia's making 4. That's good. I'll have a nice big box full then. And then So don't be scared to get that colour down, and like I say, if you're not the best with lines, just mix two colours together now, get a different shade. If you're not the best with lines, pencil them in so you can colour within the lines. But I don't like the clean lines. I like a little bit, so it does look a bit natural. There we go. So we've got our lovely pink one and we've got our lovely green one. So two to go out there. So let's just set those aside. Let's clean this brush. And let's just move this out of the way for now. Just pop it over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a backdrop now on our card. So 2 pieces of card. So these are going to be what I'm going to mount onto my top folding note cards. So first of all, I'm going to go green and then pink. So the stamp that I'm going to be using today is this one. So it's the one from our paper collection, but you can still get the stamp on its own. You don't have to have the paper collection. And I'm going to use these lovely leaves here. So just going to grab the leaves now. You can, let's just see if I've got a block big enough with me. Or you can pop it in your Eureka. I have actually got my Soulful set here, so I'm going to just use my Soulful. And in keeping with the theme, we're going to keep it green. So let's go peeled paint for this one. So because I'm using a water-based ink, it's going to give me the capability to drag some of the colour out should I wish, but because I'm using normal white cardstock, it might not move as easy as if it was on watercolour card, so you just need to bear that in mind, okay? It might let me drag it out a little bit, but I'm not hopeful that it's going to be amazing. So my cards today are going to be a landscape for a change. So I'm just going to pop this one up here. And get a lovely leaf design there. And then I'm going to just ink up the top 3 here. I'm just going to get some tissue and make sure I've got no ink on the other ones, because I just want the top part of the leaf this time. And it's no great shake if you do get a little bit of transfer anyway, I suppose. There we go. So you can see here we've got the lovely 3 and that one there. Don't worry about this, because the card, this part here, is going to hide when we come to construct it all, okay? So let's maybe do one more. Let's change out the colour of green so we have got the tones of green. So this time Twisted Citron. See, you've got 2 shades of green there, which is nice. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to pull that colour out. Let's see if it'll allow us. So I've just got my brush. Just see if I add a little bit more water. It's allowing me a little bit. Can you just see it a little bit? It is allowing me to do it just a little bit. So where it is allowing, I am going to go for it, just to pull that colour out a little bit. Probably won't allow too much on this light one. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in my palette that we've just used, and the green that's on my palette here, I'm just going to add some splats just to get rid of those white areas. Now make sure you move all the rest of your work because you'll end up with them everywhere. And then we'll just fill in some of these spaces here. And don't be scared to, you know, get them on there because they dry back way, way lighter. Okay, let's leave that as is. Let's set that aside. We'll just let that naturally air dry and we'll move on to our pink one. So you can see why it's a great idea. Sorry, I'm just moving my mic because it's hurting my neck. You can see why it's a great idea to do two cards at the same time. We've got all the ink on our palette. We're not going to have to wipe it away. Have I missed any questions? Am I all right? So let's bring in our pink one this time. I'll just claim my stamp. So exactly the same, but this time we're going to go with some pinks. We're going to go for a full one on this one, so we'll have two cards a little bit different. And then let's swap out the colour. And again, let's see if it'll allow us to drag it out a little bit. Not so much with the pink. No, I can't move these colours at all. These ones don't want to budge. No. So let's get some splashes on here. So we've got some of this lovely There we go. So let's set this aside to dry along with our lovely green one. So let's get a tidy station. Let's move on to the next stage. So I have two dies here, two circular dies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one inside the other onto this piece of mirror board, and it's going to give me like a gold ring sort of effect. If that makes any sense at all, I'll show you in a second. And the circles that I'm using are the ones from one of my Pretty Penny collections, and it's the one where the circles go down with the stitch. But if you have a circular die, then you're really good to go. I'm just popping one inside the other like that. Can we see that there? And then we're just going to run this through our machine when I've had a drink of coffee. Are you all? I do these sort of things to you often, don't I? None of you know where it's going right till the last minute. Make sure that doesn't move, hopefully. Just pop that through the machine. Put my mat back in place because Nathan will have a heart attack. He likes things absolutely straight. And then we can breathe for a second. So then obviously when you pop it out, you get this part which you can use on another card, but I wanted this ring, this gold ring. Can we see that there? So let's just set that aside. So whilst we've got our die cutting machine out, let's do our other components. So Let's have a look. So ahead of time, I stamped some of the green leaves, what we've just done on our card, and I cut them out with the outline die, and I've got the pink corally ones as well. Can we see those there? Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of these too. And then this really is going to get you to dig out your stash, guys. It really is, which is cool because that's why you buy it. And then I've got one of these super old ones. Well, not old. Yeah, old. But, you know, one I use all the time. And you get the 3 flowers and the foliage. So I'm just going to cut some of these white, some of the small foliages. Some of you have probably already got these. You get these lovely vines and leaves, things like that. So I'm just going to cut one of these, I'm going to run these through once each on a piece of white cardstock. Like so. So let's run this one through. So basically, I'm just getting all my components together to create the card. So, and because I'm doing 2, I'm cutting extras. My die cutting machine is out, my die is out, my stamp is out. So really, we're good to go. So then just take all of the bits off. And you can see all the pretty embellishments there. These work really good. If you did get the big ones, these work really good with the big ones, you know, as fillers and things like that. So when I'm creating these, I try and make sure you've got probably every size possible, really. But you might have these, something similar to this in your stash already. So you can see that creates a pretty flower if you want it to. But the most important thing of my demo is these little white elements here. So I hope I've got enough for 2 cards. We are soon to find out, I suppose. Let's set this aside. So I might use this flower in the big one, this one here, but I haven't decided. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting the green card together, and if I find we need one of those, we can go back and do it. So first of all, I'm bringing in my top folding note card, top folding, but I'm going to use it landscape today. And then this piece is going to be mounted onto here. So no border today, just mounted absolutely flat. When I find some glue or a tape pen. Hopefully this tape pen works. Just lean over and make sure this is straight. Sorry about the head. So there we have it mounted onto our card blank. So this is where the fun part begins, and this is where I really love making cards. So we have our panel, our decorative panel on here. We have our die cut leaves, which are the green ones. We might need some more, we'll see. Don't ever place anything or glue anything until you're absolutely happy, remember. And then we have our lovely hoop. So this is just going to create a little bit of interest on our card. And then we have our white pieces, which are going to fill the connection here. Let's have a look. Now I'm not overly concerned if you can see this overlap here. Can we see that there? Make sure it's straight. Sorry, it never looks straight on here. So, and then obviously we have a white flower should you want to add a white flower, but process wasn't with the white flower. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see how I'm going to do first with these white pieces. Can we see that there? So these are sort of like fillers. And then I have my twine, so let's go ahead and make a pretty bow. And then what I've done ahead of time is I've already stamped a sentiment from the same stamp set, which is the one we've just spoken about in the orange packaging. It's all about you. So I'm just placing at the moment, there is no gluing going on at the moment. And then here are the sentiments. So I have congratulations and I have smile. So do we think that looks okay? Whew, it's awfully hot in here. Shall we go with that? I would normally take a picture on my phone to see. So let's just take this off. Let's glue these ones flat. So we haven't really done much here, guys, have we? If you think about it, all we've done is we're doing 2 cards at the same time and we're doing 2 different colour waves. So, and we've just painted a panel and we've got a lot of die cut foliage. So you will have foliage stamps in your dies. We've done lots of creations where, a little bit too much. We've done lots of creations where you get foliage. So you will be able to do this. You don't have to come and buy this stamp. You will be able to create this one without having to buy anything, which is cool. So I'm just sticking all of these embellishments in place because the panel's going to go on top of here, isn't it? So we're not going to see this one. And then let's pop some pads behind our panel or a piece of foam. And then the green part on top. Now, did we do the hoop on top or the hoop? Did the hoop behind, didn't we? Just going to push that into that glue underneath there. And then we have our pretty bow. And then we'll pop a bit of a pad behind this one, shall we? Just to, that might be a bit big. Now it would look pretty with some gems around maybe. Don't want to pull my bow off. So there we go. Do we like that one? Shall we construct the pink one? The pink one will probably look completely different as well because it's in a different colourway. So these ones, you could have made into a flower if you wanted to, and maybe popped a flower in the top corner too. So you can make it as maybe pop a flower on the gold ring if you wanted to. There's a lot you could really do with it, isn't there? So let's just set that one aside to give it an opportunity to dry. So you can see now how, albeit the splats looked so messy when we first did them, look how little you see of them now. You don't see that many of them, do you? So, you know, please do pop the splats on, and it's the same with this one. Look, there is a lot of splats on there, but as soon as we build our artwork, You don't see half of them. So again, we'll stick this one flat on here. Which way should we go this time? Yeah, let's go this one, because I stamped these a little bit different this time, didn't I? So this is going to be the pretty pink one. So let's pop some pad behind, some foam pads behind this one. Just get rid of that now. Janice, I'll have to print off the stripes. Oh, do what I saw the inspiration. The lady had actually used the stripe things from like your DIY store. It looked really, really good, and hence the reason why it inspired me to make. Thought, oh, I could do that with my watercolours. We're crazy, aren't we? We are funny onions. So let's pop this one on here, look. Oh, make sure it's absolutely. And you can see with this one, I've not painted this one very straight, but I'm okay with it. It will still look nice. So that's that. Oh, maybe could have done with sticking that underneath there. Let's just peel that up a little bit. Mind you, just trim it off, Tony. Bit more. So I'm just tucking this one under here so it's the same as my other one. And then this one is going to get stuck on top. And then my gold ring. So think if this would have been nice in a rose gold ring, wouldn't it, I suppose? So let's just tuck this one under here. Or shall we go under and over? Let's do this. Let me just pop a bit of glue under this leaf. And that'll hold my ring in place. A pretty little bow again. So very, well, they are really the same, aren't they? They're not. And then our lovely white pieces here, just to break it up a little bit. It's always good to add a little bit of white of something. Anything really, just to break up those white, the colour, because I've got a lot of colour going on in this one. Without making a mess with all the glue. And again, we've covered half of those splats. That'll teach me if I've putting on my foam first, won't it? You know, I can't get them in now. There we go, I'll just go with that. And then we have our lovely congratulations on this one, and this one's a longer one. So I'll pop some thin tape behind this one. Making a right mess here. What's going on? Like so. And we'll just stick this one on. Ta-da! Make sure that leg goes behind so we can still see the words. There we go. So, pink one. Which is your best? Which do you think you like the best? The green or the pink? There we go. So thank you for the inspiration to the lovely lady on Instagram who used one of the swatches from one of the local stores. So there we go. Do we like that one? Like both? Like them both? Both pretty in their own way. Yeah. I look forward to seeing what you guys do and how you guys chop it up and change it up and probably make it better. But yeah, it's composition, so stamping them on a background, then using your die cuts to elevate it and bring it forward. There's so much you can do with those foliage stamps, and that, I have to say, that stamp in itself is one of my all-time favourites. So it had to come out, didn't it? So I hope you've enjoyed that. A little bit of inspiration for you there, something a little bit different. So I am back with you now on Wednesday at 3 p.m. and then Claire's with you on... No, I'm not back with you on Wednesday. What am I on about? I'm on a 4-day deal. So I'm not back on TV all the rest of this week. So I'll be seeing you again on Monday. But don't forget, Claire is here on Thursday. And then we have another demonstrator coming to studio to give you more live hours and more tuition. And I'll fill you in as soon as I've got those dates confirmed. You guys will be the first to know, just after B&Q. Okay, I'll see you later. Take care, guys. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.